Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on which part of the day it is you're listening to this. Thank you so much for tuning in to Miss Crystal Chat, another fabulous episode with me, Miss Crystal, in case you hadn't guessed. Yes, so far on the show, we have had some amazing drag queens from up and down the country. We've had some from America. We've had EastEnders stars. So many people have taken the time out to chat to myself and obviously the gorgeous Special K. And I thought it'd be a fantastic opportunity for everybody, all the listeners, all four of you that listen, to find out a little bit more about myself. So I've split it up into different chunks because, to be fair, nobody wants to listen to me ramble on for far too long because that would not be fun at all. But what I thought I would do is just give you a little bit of an insight into the life of Miss Crystal, where I grew up. How did I even get into this whole crazy drag thing? Because it's surprisingly not what I wanted to be when I grew up. No, it wasn't. So we're going to take you right back to the 80s and give you life BC, before Crystal. Now, I grew up in a very tiny little village in Scotland called Crieff. Many people may know it as the home and birthplace of Ewan McGregor. Yes, Trainspotting. Yes, Star Wars. He came from the same place that I did. I just wish that I had a little bit more of his money, because that would be fabulous. But anyway, I grew up in a tiny little village. I went to Crieff Primary School, then I went on to Crieff High School, and I've got to say, I wasn't one of the popular kids in school. But I wasn't like one of the unpopular ones either. I was just kind of there. A little bit geeky because I loved doing steps and S Club 7 and hearsay routines, but more on that later. But I just was generally a normal child. I mean, my mum and dad did start to worry when I asked them one Christmas if I could have a Hoover as my main presents. Yes, folks, the clues were there all along. I asked for a Hoover. I guess that's quite ironic now because I don't even know which way is up on the Hoover. I just leave that to Prince CJ. He does all the hoovering and stuff. But anyway, so all the clues were there. Growing up, I loved trying on mum's clothes. I tottered around in her heels at playgroup. And do you know what? Why not? You should start young. It was an expression. I loved just being as flamboyant as I could. My primary school years, I would say, were fairly normal, really, or as normal as you could. Had a lovely family, great grandparents. Yeah, it was just a kind of regular upbringing. Went to school, got on with loads of folk. In primary 7, I was made house captain of Turret, which I was so pleased. I think they'd exhausted all other options and finally went, oh, we'll just give it to him. It'll keep him happy for a year. So that was kind of my primary school. High school, however, was a little bit more eventful. Bear in mind that I didn't actually start drinking until I was 17, I think. However, it's safe to say that I think I've made up for what I started late. Now, I was never one of the cool kids, inverted commas, air inverted commas. I just kind of, I like to flit amongst groups. So I'd be with the cool kids one minute, then I'd be with the rough-uns the next minute. The rough ones, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And if you're from Crieff and you are listening to this podcast and you were in my year at school, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But you know what? It was just so much fun. I had a group that I hung out with. It was Jenna and Amanda and Angela. We all had such an amazing little group, and we at lunchtime we would sometimes be in the library or we'd go up and stay in the maths and English room, and what we would do is we would learn all of the steps and S Club 7 and hearsay routines, and we would just practice them all lunchtime. And I've got to say, we were the nuts. We were amazing. There was not a steps dance that we did not know. And I am proud to say, as an avid steps fan, that I still know them to this day. And every time they bring out a new song, you can guarantee that I am learning it in the shower, just so that CJ can't see. So yes, as I said, we had this little group of us, and we used to go to the concerts, and this is where I think we knew we were set for stardom, because we made our own pop group. Now, we weren't S Club 7, we weren't Hearsay, we weren't Steps. There was two of us, there was me and Jenna, and I hope that Jenna doesn't mind me sharing all of this, because it will embarrass her to high heaven, because Jenna, as well as being an amazing Steps, Hearsay and S Club 7 fan, also loved Slipknot, Metallica and Korn. She has a very eclectic taste in music. But anyway, me and her thought it would be an amazing idea if we created our own pop duo. We had a manager, Amanda was our manager, and Angela was like our roadie, so she used to bring everything. But we were called Eclipse. Yes, we were called Eclipse. Fabulous name, isn't it? And I remember we used to like all go round to Jenna's, who literally lived in the arse end of nowhere. Honestly, she was in like a croft in the top of a mountain, and getting to hers was an absolute mission. It wasn't just we'll pop round for a coffee. Military planning had to go in place every time we wanted to go and see Jenna. But anyway, we used to go round, we used to write our own material. Yes, we did. We used to write our own material, and we loved it. We used to just hang around. This is where we used to learn all the dance routines, learn the songs, and we used to put on our own concerts in the living room. Not the living room, in the bedroom. Now, a lot of you may kind of be hinting at clues even more now. So when I came out when I was 18, it probably wasn't a huge surprise to my mum and dad, but that is a story for a whole other podcast. So I remember this one time at high school when we'd all arranged, we thought we were really cool. We were going to get the bus through to Perth, and we were going to go to the cinema, we're going to get something to eat at Pizza Hut, and then we were going to get like the last bus home, and everything would be absolutely fine. Now, anybody that knows me and public transport, we've got a bit of a love-hate relationship. So bearing in mind, I must have only been about 13 or 14 at the time. We decided we're going to go to Perth. I rock up at the bus station, the bus stop, sorry, and I just think, oh my gosh, right, I'm going to get on this bus. All my friends are already going to be on it, and it's great. So the bus turns up, Chris gets on, look around, oh, there's nobody there. I tell you what, I will just sit down anyway. I don't know where I thought my friends had gone, but they definitely were not on this bus. So anyway, I ride the bus all the way to Perth. I mean, Perth is literally only about 15-20 minutes away, so it wasn't like I was traveling to a different country. But anyway, I was 13-14. I thought this was like the best thing ever. So anyway, I get off the bus and I just think, oh well, maybe they were upstairs or whatever. I don't know why I didn't check, but hey, that's another story. Anyway, gets off the bus, nowhere to be seen. So I am now in Perth on my own, and I'm thinking, right, okay, well maybe they got an earlier bus. So what I'll do is I'll go and I'll just get my ticket for the cinema. So I did. And I went to the cinema by myself, with nobody else there, on my own. Still no friends. So then I get out of the cinema and I'm like that, okay, so friends aren't there, don't know where they are. Then it dawns on me, I have no idea where I am getting the bus home. I literally have not got a Scooby. So I've got quite a lot of relations in Perth. So I thought, right, what I'll do, I'll head to somewhere that I know, and then as long as I'm heading in the direction of Crieff, I'm in for a good one. The bus is bound to show up. I knew that I was waiting for the number 15 bus. If I can see the number 15 bus, I can jump on. Well, no word of a lie, I must have walked for about an hour and a half through the streets of Perth, as Alan Carr says, like a bag lady. Who am I? I don't know who I am. I must have lost so much weight in the hour and a half that I've been there. But it gets so bad that my parents are starting to worry because they've not heard from me. I think I don't even know if I had a mobile phone at this point, because I'm not that old, but I didn't have a mobile phone. So I think I might have used a payphone and tried to call my mum and dad and said, look, I'm at the Tesco's on Perth Road. You need to come and like try and get me. So luckily, my Auntie Sylvia and Uncle Jock came and picked me up like this little orphan Oliver and took me back to theirs and looked after me and gave me a nice hot cup of tea because, quite frankly, I was freezing. So, yeah, me and public transport, we really don't get on too well. So then you kind of fast forward till about 15, 16, and then it happens. That moment that every teenager can remember, the night they almost died. So what happened was, as I got older and I got a bigger network of friends, some of these friends liked to go out and have a drink in a pub. Yes, do you remember pubs before lockdown? We used to go out and they used to serve you alcohol. So anyway, I remember my first time that I nearly died. With it being such a small village, everybody knows everybody. And not only does everybody know everybody, they all get on and look after each other. So this one night, I think I was 16, in a pub with all my friends. My drink at the time was a vodka black currant and lemonade, I want to say. So I was fairly tipsy. These are the days that you could go out with £20, get absolutely smashed, and still come home with change. So we used to go out and I was just drinking. And then, you know when everything starts to spin and your head's spinning one way and the room's spinning the other way? Well, I had to excuse myself. Now, in Crieff, there is a pub called The Towers. The Towers, it's got like a big clock on one side and it's got a gorgeous white facing building. You can see where I'm going with this, folks, can't you? So I get outside, the fresh air hits me like bloody Muhammad Ali. Yeah, that was a boxing reference, I know. Hits me and I end up throwing up all up this gorgeous white wall. It was horrendous. But after that, I thought, oh, do you know what? I think it's got it out of my system. I feel a bit of a boogie coming on. Well, what I failed to mention was I'm one of those people that once I am sick, that is game over for the night. Game over. You hear of these people that, oh, once I was sick, I'm ready to go for round 2. Once I am sick, that is me. No more. I should go home. And I learned that this evening because when I went back into the pub, I looked at their gorgeous new carpet that they just had put down. And I thought, yeah, that's far too clean. Let me throw up over that too. So I started to throw up everywhere inside. Now, as I said, everybody knows everybody in Crieff. So they phoned my mum and dad, who were in bed. And my dad had to get up and come up to the pub and retrieve me. And all I can remember was I got in the car, shamefully, and my dad had to drive about 2 or 3 miles an hour. I mean, it's only about a 5-minute walk from where I live, but I literally was hanging out of the door. You could follow the dots of vodka, black currant, and lemonade the whole way home. It was like a trail. Not a very nice trail either. And then the things that you put your mother through, she was up all night to make sure that I didn't like choke on anything, because that can sometimes happen. But I didn't know any of this at this time. So that is exactly, my mum waited up all night and she kept coming through to check if I was still breathing. And we look back and we laugh now, don't we? And you're probably all going, oh my gosh, I'm looking at you in such a different light. Or, for those that know me, they'll be like, that is an easy night for Miss Crystal. And then, I guess, like, a few other memories that just automatically stick out in my head. I've obviously got best friends that are friends for life in Richard, Kerr, Gemma, Leslie, Rona. We used to all go out to this club called the Ice Factory. We called it the bucket because we were cool, and we used to get the last bus through into Perth, party, get a taxi home, and our thing was we always used to do a shot and a bottle. So we would have Smirnoff Ice and apple sours, and you had to do the shot and then down the bottle, not just sip the bottle. You had to do that. So it would just be our thing, and we did it at Gemma's wedding. So every time we were out, it'd be a shot and a bottle. I cannot do a shot and a bottle now. I will tell you now. If I did drunk the way that I drink now back then, no. Did that make sense? If I drink now what I did back then, I swear, it's just not even worth thinking about, to be honest. It would be horrendous. So yeah, it's really nice. We've still got such great friends. We keep in touch whenever that we can. But do you know what? People have such busy lives, and I completely appreciate that. But when we all go back, or when we return, or when we meet up, it is honestly like no time has passed. Even though we might have a few more wrinkles. Not on me, of course, because once I can afford Botox, that is all changing. So, as you can see, it's been a pretty standard school life. Nothing really too eventful took place. Obviously, being a gentleman of a certain characteristic, you're going to get bullied sometimes. And unfortunately, that was part of my upbringing. I did get bullied while I was at school. I don't want to dwell too much on it because I just look at them, the people that used to bully me, and I just think, do you know what? I just pity that you felt the need that you needed to do that, because you've had no effect on me at all. If anything, you have made me 100 times stronger than the person I used to be in school, because I used to just go, do you know what? I will not let you put me down. I am who I am, and that sounds so cliche, but I am. And nothing can change that, and nothing should change that. I want to see more people just standing up and being proud of who they are. Whether you're gay, straight, bi, trans, non-binary, you just be who you are. Be your authentic self, because if you can be your authentic self and rise and grow with everything, you will become a better, well-rounded adult. It's easier said than done, and I have and had a fantastic network of friends. But do you know what? I was doing routines in the maths room. People used to come in like that. Oh, you're such a gay. Oh my God, you just want to be a girl. And do you know what? Look at me now. I'm gay and I'm a drag queen. So maybe bullies have just got a little bit more foresight. But I always like to think that all they do is they say what they see. And if that is intelligence, then we are so much better than them. Let me tell you that. Listen to Auntie Crystal. If anyone is being bullied out there, if anyone is being the bullier, please come and talk to me and I will put you right. If you're being bullied, talk to Auntie Crystal, and what I will do is I will have a chat and we will make sure that you are cared for, because you are in a community that is loved. You just be who you are. And you know what? You might be an extrovert. You might be a flamboyant straight man. They do exist, and they should not be persecuted for being who they are. So yeah, there's my little oh, that was a bit serious then, wasn't it? Oh yeah, that was a little bit serious. See, I'm hard-hitting journalism. That's not journalism, but you know what I mean. We want to have a little bit of a message too. So I guess all in all, school was school. I have met some amazing people through my school years that I'm still proud to say that are my close friends today. In fact, one person that I met in primary school is going to be my best man in December when I finally say I do. So I'm not going to dwell on the school thing. I'm going to move on. And if you want to know more about how I became the fabulous Miss Crystal, stay tuned for more podcasts. So this has been Miss Crystal from Miss Crystal Chats. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.